Okay, so first off, I don't want to make my first video on this channel a negative one, but I just need to set the record straight because a lot of opinions are being formed with a lot of misinformation. You've probably seen what's happened on Kick with Raja Jackson and Psycho Stu, and it's horrible, and some people are arguing what's happening was self-defense, but I want to showcase what actually happened, so even if you disagree with me, you can get a better informed opinion. First things first, we need to get an idea of who Psycho Stu is, and Psycho Stu is an army veteran named Stuart Smith, and he was dealing with some pretty bad PTSD, and he was using wrestling as an outlet to help himself focus on things. Here's a short video so he can actually just explain it better for himself.
Pro in 2009. I had just got out of the military, probably about 6 months earlier. I got out of the military, I joined Knox Pro, because I needed something to focus on. I needed something to help me adjust back into civilian life. A lot of veterans, it's hard for them to readjust into civilian life coming from the life of the military. I'm an American soldier that suffers from PTSD. Being in front of a crowd, it doesn't give me as much anxiety and aggression as I thought it would.
Now, Raja Jackson is the son of MMA legend Rampage Jackson, who's also a kick streamer now. And Raja Jackson himself is also a professional MMA fighter. He has 2 professional fights and 3 amateur fights as well as being a streamer. Which one thing that is mentioned later in the video is that Raja Jackson was actually concussed after a kick from sparring. It was a spinning back kick, which is also on video. And that could induce behavioural changes. He wasn't flatline KO'd, but nevertheless, it's the information we've got from Rampage, and here's a clip of what happened.
Yeah, that's what you gotta do. Let the kick land and count.
Now, we can get to the main story, which is what started this whole drama with this clip right here. If you can even call it drama, actually, it's a pretty blatant crime. But
oh, me? Hell no. Yeah.
Hey, hey, I think that's a
Oh, you don't sell it?
Easy. He's not a fucking worker, bro. Calm down.
Yeah, what the fuck was that?
You're good.
What the fuck was that?
You don't sell it?
No, he's not a fucking worker, bro.
What the fuck was that? Hold on. I don't play that shit, bro.
Oh, sorry.
Nah, I will fuck him up, bro.
I know you will. We're good.
I will fuck him up, bro.
I know you will.
I don't play that shit.
Sorry about that,
Nah, I will fuck him up, bro.
I know you will. So I got you.
I do not play that shit at all.
Nah, I got you. You good. Apologize for that, man. We can fix that.
without context, it looks like Stu attacked Raja unprovoked, but there are 2 important things to understand here. Firstly, the can itself was empty and full of air. It wasn't a full bottle of soda, so it doesn't really hurt. And Psycho Stu actually said, he's a pro wrestler, so he asked him, are you going to sell it? Assuming that Raja was also a wrestler. But now, in this instance, if Raja had thrown a punch back, it's arguably justifiable. And after the clip, you can actually see what made Raja so upset. And for context, he's upset because he doesn't want to be looked down upon or treated like a bitch, which is an important detail for later. Later on, Psycho Stu explains himself in the video.
I apologize.
I appreciate it.
I didn't know. I thought you were at work. He's still doing the camera.
I get it.
We're not working out. Well, he's going to come out on your mat, too. I know you keep thinking we're working. We're always working.
I get it, yeah. I get it now. Now you know
what I'm saying, Ose? We're always working. So we'll set it up. I'll have him come out during your mat so we could fucking seal the whole thing and we'll make something out of it. You know what I'm saying?
And as you can see, he thought Raja was a worker and putting on an act. So they do speak together briefly, and it is clear in the video Psycho Stu is sorry. He's got the balls, like man to man, to apologise to Raja genuinely. And it makes me sad because you can see how genuinely sad and actually sorry that Stu is for what he's doing. At this point, if you accept the apology, you're acknowledging everything is water under the bridge, or at least just to move on. So this is the part that makes it even worse what happens later. Throughout the rest of the stream, his chat are rage baiting Raja into retaliating, and Raja seems pretty insecure, and the comments are clearly getting to his head. Now here's some important clips here that show Raja's motivation to do what he's about to do, and also quite important to consider, because the guy in the black hat here gives Raja motivation and almost a reason to go ahead and insult Psycho Stu. And to be honest, he should be as liable as Raja's in this situation, to be honest, because not only does he tell Raja to do what he's going to do, but he also says that if he complains, he'll have to go through him.
You run in on his shit, you fucking give him his receipt. You remember what a receipt is? Give him that fucking receipt, bro. Tag his shit. If you got a fucking problem with it, I'll fucking run out there. Tag his shit, bro.
The most important clip and the most horrible to watch, unfortunately I'll have to censor it because of YouTube's guidelines. If I'm honest, you should really check out the full video if you can handle it, because it's very brutal and heartbreaking, and it's much worse than just seeing the silhouette of what's happening. This is when Raja enters. You can see he looks pretty pissed off, but we'll see how it goes. Now this is the worst part. If you look at it closely, you can actually see that Psycho Stu is smiling. He's not expecting anything malicious to come from Raja, but this is where it gets dark. So that was a hard slam onto the mat, right? If this was concrete, he would be dead, but a hard slam onto the mat, and trained wrestlers, like professionals, will slam you in such a way you fall onto your back and you can break the fall. Raja just power slams him on the back of his head. If he does a couple of punches after this, or he stops, it'd be reasonable, because he could say, I've gone too far, but he's not. So this bit is very brutal. So in a UFC, if someone would be knocked out, the ref is meant to pull them off them. So in so in professional wrestling, I would expect this referee to actually be pulling him off him after 3 unanswered punches, but it gets to the point where it's up to 20 and nothing is happening. This guy at least is trying to do something. He's not doing much, but at least he's trying. He's probably in shock. I'm sure everyone in the audience and the fellow wrestlers are in shock. And the worst thing is, these are unanswered punches. So again, in the UFC, whereas professional sanctioned fighting, they would have stopped this after the first, as soon as he became knocked out, or after maybe 2 unanswered punches. But the fact they let this go on for 20 unanswered punches is insane. Thankfully, the guy in the red hair actually tries to do something. He's effective at stopping him, and all the other wrestlers come in later to try and stop him as well. But he's a trained professional MMA fighter.
Hey, you gotta stop this shit, man. Hey. Stop this shit, man. Hey.
And you can see this guy especially is going to try and grab his legs to control him. But none of them are hitting him, and they actually could. They could hit him in this situation, but they were just trying to control him and stop this from escalating. Psycho Stu after this was in really bad condition, and to be honest, it was possible he wasn't ever going to wake up, and they had to do a lot to save him. If you don't believe me, he was choking on his own blood and teeth and had broken bones in his face too. And what's worse, and my message to Raja, is that because of this, what you've done to a family man of a wife, he wants to go out and entertain people and help himself go over his PTSD, which, if you know anything about, is unfortunately has taken the lives of so many people who are suffering with it, including soldiers in your country. And what makes things worse, right, which, yes, you didn't kill him, still might have ruined his life, because now he's 1, going to be out of work, and 2, going to be dealing with traumatic brain injuries, which I don't know if you've ever stopped to think about your actions, but he may not be able to wrestle again, because traumatic brain injuries are serious and can stop people from ever being the same again. Look at Prickard Colin, and that was from a sanctioned boxing match. He potentially stopped his outlet that he's just discovered from the pain and misery he got serving your country, which is quite ironic because you, a 20-something-year-old streamer who grew up in wealth, and to be honest, anything you could have ever wanted, you decided to target someone who's willing to die so that you could live a good life. And to make things even worse is the next part, is when you're walking outside, you act invincible. You are 1-1 as an MMA fighter. Yes, you're in incredible shape and train harder than the average person, but you literally cannot live off your father's legacy for the rest of your life. You wanted to not look like a bitch, and you make that very clear before and after, so why did you end up doing the most cowardly thing imaginable on sneaking up on a much older man than you and brutally assaulting him whilst he's unconscious? Clearly, something is wrong with Raja's mind or mental state. I don't want to blame Rampage explicitly, but it's clear that the bullying and teasing finally got to him.
Fucking bit me. I'm tired of everybody fucking playing with me and shit. Think I'm always playing and shit. Call me bitch and shit. Not no fucking bitch, bro.
Rampage's reaction was quite bad, but in his defense, he is his father, so it is expected he would be more lenient or at least defensive for his son. And speaking about this genuinely fills me with so much anger, and it genuinely upsets me because I was hopeful for Raj's career moving forward. And I was happy to see him progress and the little kick stream clips he used to do. And it greatly upsets me that there is a community out there who do support Raja for whatever reason, if it's race, class, whatever. But this isn't an us versus them issue. This is where all of us, regardless of our background, should point out evil and unnecessary violence together and put responsibility on people for what they've done. I don't know if there's a GoFundMe or if there's any social media for Psycho Stu, but I urge anyone who watches this to show love and support to his family because he needs it. And honestly, I feel very, very bad for what he's going through, and if there's any way we as a community could support him and help try and make things right, that would be ideal. But anyway, thanks for watching the video, and please like or subscribe if you enjoyed it. But I'm not too happy about the situation, and I hope Psycho Stu recovers better and well.